Oh. Hello, hello, hello. Um, yeah, I am. Turn it down on my side. So, I was sick last week, so I couldn't stream, but we have a new this new format, this kind of log, going through what been doing for the past since last time I've been on stream, and to show what I've been doing. Also should also probably add in um yeah, so there are some potential changes that I may add to this format. Add some more I might stockpile some articles and kind of like add a bit more content rather than like what have I been doing. I know I want to get. I might not. So I have been trying to edit my editor to like do some programming, some tech kind of stuff, but what we might end up doing is a kind of like a web design thing. We've done that in the past. It's been pretty. It was. I think it went pretty well. It was a good format for the stream. I am super late today. I got a new computer. It's really cool. So I'll show you guys. Let me hop over to the browser scene. I got a framework computer. Nope, not frameworks. Yeah, I got one of these guys. I not that exactly this one, but it is similar to that. So I've been configuring that. It was really easy to put together. Beginner can do it. So I was excited about that. But yeah, it was having some memory issues, and what I had to do is manually set the page file sizes, which I didn't even know about until I think my father brought it up. So I'm so grateful that he did. But yeah, so kind of getting, let's go back to our little just chatting scene. Yeah, so had to do that, had to do the editing. My little, that means this little macro keyboard right here doesn't work out well. So if we want smart, I gotta fix that. I have been, so that's kind of issue. I kind of want to, I still have a lot of like art stuff I need to do on the stream, and we'll go over to that. That's kind of what the palette review on our list is about. So yeah, been doing that. I've been doing a lot of the app development stuff because I have this app that I want to make that's would like once I create it, the foundations for what I want to like do in order to like augment my life to be better. It'll be laid there, so I can just easily like pump out things that will help me out in the future. And I'll go over what I've done and the like foundations because that's kind of what I'm working on right now. So it's like okay, everything's settled. I'll walk through like my logic for the code, my logic for the design. Yeah, so did that. I was sick, so I couldn't stream Sunday. Seems like I've been sick a lot. But yeah, so did that. Potential changes to, like I said, is I want to do more interactive stuff. I I think I'm gonna be planning on doing more streaming of video games. I I have this thing right here. It doesn't work with the capture card I have really well. So I want to get that figured out before I start doing anything kind of crazy. But yeah, I have this. I have an H which goes into the network switch attached to my computer, which then goes to an HDMI switch, then displays there. Right now, I just have the 3 monitor display, which is what I'm looking at right over there. But yeah, so without further ado, so I want to get all that kind of stuff up. Well, first off, I want to get that set up. I think there's a little bit more I can do with like the streaming stuff. Not that I'm abandoning the editor changes. It's just that I don't want to do it right now. So, yeah, I've been doing that, and in the past 2 weeks, the couple weeks before that, I was doing a lot of like shadowing at work, so that took a lot of my time up. Right now, it's kind of getting back to. I'm trying to get back into the writing. I was doing a bit of a technical writing. Like the articles I've been writing, they're like super in depth and take a month or two. Well, this one's taking 2 months because there's a lot of like programming and stuff. So it's a lot of like that really technical writing, which is it can be difficult sometimes to learn. So just been dealing with that, and yeah. So let's go over some of the programming stuff I have been doing this week. Let me switch over to my blank screen. So kind of do that. So I've been making this app. It looks awful because most of the things I've been doing, this was pretty much what I did. Not yesterday. I take Saturdays off for like. I want to take Saturdays off for like mental health. When I touched grass yesterday, so I didn't do any design. Touch grass, play video games. But it's all back here. So it's a lot of like. It's a lot of code. So you have this desktop right here. You have this mobile section right here, which I still have to build out. We have this auto section here, which is our like automation scripts. Let me center you a bit more, or center myself a bit more. Yeah, and we have this like whole repository here. So this app design, I'm trying to use more of like where is it? I have it under micro CSS. So I'm trying to use more of like the Tailwind kind of class design. So if like it has, if you like want to flex and you have columns, it'll do the flex direction in the columns. If you're in a list, it'll do the inline block. So kind of like this probably should say rows actually. So like line it up so it's rows, because by default it does the columns. We say no decor for like none of the bulleted stuff. We have like the text color here, and the colors get pulled in from this theme, which there's like different color schemes based on light mode that I need to work on. So kind of working on that a bit. I had to do a little bit of the routing. So each page, in this case the index page, we register the page here, which is registered to this path. Oh, come on. I haven't used this editor in a hot second. So it's kind of registered to the root path. This element is always the same. It's always page, and the icons that are with it. So what this does is that if you have like multiple icons, it'll cycle through the pages, or it'll cycle through the icons, and it'll set up the state. So I still have to manage the state stuff, which will like render this out and then correspond to this. I might design this register section a bit better than what it is, but right now it's you have the name, which kind of displays at the top here. So right now it's kind of displaying the two icons, which I'm using a temporary one because they're like all icons are still in Figma. Haven't pulled them out yet. I'm just kind of doing the technical work. They're programmer art. We have the name, and then we have the other icon. This is where the settings icon would be. Then we have the footer too. The footer does the same thing. If we kind of look at the design here, hopefully it shows. So if we look at the design, this design is pretty simple. Like, so we have the one icon, and like for this one, it's like the dashboard. If it's showing the dashboard, then it will highlight this home section icon area right here, and the dashboard's icon will show. And kind of like we have this, like, if you click on this, it will put you into this board's icon list, and then we have the tree that would go from there. So yeah, I just kind of have to, like, I'm working on that kind of navigation stuff right now, because that, like, the header and footer are part of the root element, and we want those to change without changing the content. I did a lot of work around these components here. So we have, like, the days of the week. So these are like very cool text buttons. We have our list items here. These are the header and footer. We have a toggle and these kind of icons here. So when we kind of go over to the one I've done the most work with here is the calendar view, because it is like a to-do list. So like events are one of the core features. I wanted to get this done because it's kind of more like the visual stuff. I have this kind of like time separator here. Here's our vertical icons. You see how that is used, our little like next arrow and stuff. And we have the subheader with the state. Or we see kind of where the header is, and it's kind of like rotates views every time you tap that button. This is, I haven't figured out how to do scrolling in Figma. I know it's like you have to like create another view. I don't really need it. I can conceptually understand what's going on here. So I might not just do that for the design. I don't pay for Figma, so I don't have the developer view anyways. Developer mode. So yeah, we have like an example of what a basic list looks like, a more complicated list. And then we have the calendar, like the month view, which has like the accent colors at different opacity based on how many events are part of that date. And a huge chunk of it is kind of like automation. So like this might be like when you have to pay your rent and something all day, like task, and that kind of stuff. I haven't figured out what would specifically render on here, but this is what it should look like as the calendar month view. And then we kind of have the view where it's like we play the like the detail section. We have this like description text, kind of like when and where, like when. The where should probably also be there, actually. But yeah, and then we kind of have like, I feel it's like we have subtasks that are part of the event. Like, hey, we gotta go to this, and then we gotta do these things. We can link it. We can link tasks, so you can like tap that task and complete what it's done. And I haven't created the creation page for it because input is gonna be really hard to design. Kind of like, yeah, we're doing with like a pretty limited color palette, and I talked about the color palette last time, but I decided just to like go strict with it and kind of like choose like it's a single accent color with a couple of like base colors with it, and it allows for like readability, like really good readability. This is like high contrast. It's not brutal. It's like still rounded edges and pretty soft. Part of it is like I'm creating this app because a lot of other apps are like overwhelming, and yeah, this is pretty overwhelming, but hopefully like it doesn't I can iron those kinks out. Yeah, so this design alone took me a while. I had to restart a couple of times trying to learn how Figma works. I accidentally deleted my whole workflow before because I was starting at like the beginning, like how the launch is. I accidentally deleted the icon I was using as a temporary icon too, so I lost that. I probably have it somewhere, but yeah. Before that, I was working on this. This is my scratch page from on Figma. So I was working on this color palette, and this is kind of what I was using, like, want to use for more stream stuff. It has that pastel kind of look. What I did is going back to this. This has been in my browser for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. But I took these like colors right here and like added, so like the lightest color here is the bottom range, the lowest color here is the top range. These are all the colors that you get from Capuchin, and then these are the colors I found to kind of fill out the color palette. I still have to work on the grayscale, but I realized probably not the best time spent right now. I want to spend more time on the app design. So once I kind of got the colors situated in a place I kind of like them, there's a lot I can use now with that. I'm just gonna leave it as is. Honestly, we could just use 3. I think I'm more of like a 3 shades kind of person. So there's like a lot of shades here. There's 7. So I think we're good on that point. Kind of want to go back to the app design. So the colors we're using the Capuchin. So what you're seeing here is the mocha with the peach accent color. Nothing too. I'm just use these two, the text and the subtext. Might use the subtext 0. I don't know yet. And then we're using these 3 base colors. So yeah, that kind of gives this kind of like minimalist design kind of look. Icons wise, if we kind of go here, I can pull up the icon. We're using a icon library that's based off the Fluent icons that you see on Windows 11, especially these filled ones specifically. So if like I look up like plant, we get like a whole bunch of plants that we can use, like weather. We get a whole bunch of weather icons that we can use, like wind speed or sunrise or hurricane, right? So we can use these as icon. I haven't paid for this. It's gonna be a whole lot of work because it's a $15 a month kind of fee, and I kind of don't want to pay that. If I do ever cough up the money, I'm pulling all these out of Icon 8 and creating my own like collection. So yeah, but it's a really cool like collection library, and like when I'm using like task, right? It's like a pretty good search. Like, oh, this is a completed task, or this is a note taking, right? Or whatever. I can like design this copy to clipboard. Like, yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth the money. It's $15. That's a lot of money to deal with it. But yeah, so we're using that Fluent icons as our icon library, and I'm really liking it. If we go back to our thing here, I have this like brain because I think that's cool, like having a brain, because it's kind of like you're moving your time management off like yourself and onto this thing. So kind of like doing the brain with like the planning icon or whatever, right? Could be easy to do. So that might be an option, or I most likely will create the icon, like the icon base myself, and then kind of go from there. Like how I want the icons, because this is not the only app I plan on making. There's a lot more that I do that I need to take off. Like, what I'm trying to do is get rid of like most of the work on Figma or Notion. So I want to get all the like task management stuff off of Notion and allow you to automate stuff without sending it to the cloud somewhere. And Notion's awful at like time management, at least how I do it. Like you have to sync up calendars, and it's all this like weirdness, and I'm done. I'm just done. So yeah. So I have the font also settled too. We're using my favorite font, which is Nunito. It's pretty like soft and rounded borders and pretty minimal. I have dyslexia, so there's not a lot of accents like font decor, which can like cause that to be an issue. They're not too close. I find it nice to read. Like modify here, that's kind of like a little difficult to read, but it's all right. I think it's fine, and I'll probably add it so you can change the font in the icon in the app, because I know how much of a struggle like this kind of stuff is. Open dyslexic, I find that to be just an awful like the font. It has so many text decorations, and like there's more information you have to process, not less. So I know I think the idea behind it was that it makes the characters, each individual characters, more visible, but I mean you don't read English character by character, so whatever. So we're using Noito with the fluency icon, inspired icons, and the Capuchin color scheme. So like the big design decisions are pretty much down, which means I can like kind of like add them to this like project here, and like my themes right here. Like I can add our fonts here and stuff. So I look forward to that. I'll probably end up doing that in the next week or two. Probably next week, because I gotta add the like the light mode colors and stuff, and make this display down here, and it's kind of like not have such weird padding and stuff. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. I'm trying to use like tech font sizes here. If we go here, like we have like a small, medium, large, like t-shirt sizes almost. I need to rename these, but we have like our small here, our extra large here. It's like our header and small font sizes. So like I love it how like I mean I probably use this a lot in XD, but I like it how they have this kind of stuff here too. Whatever they're, I mean, they have effects, grids. I don't really see the use around grid. Maybe like just position stuff accurately, but I don't, as a style, I don't see the purpose of it. So there's that. Been learning a lot about local variables. I haven't gotten into it yet. I might do the local variable and color just because like I can just kind of, I only have, so I kind of like edit the whole app's on boards, not on tasks, because I can just add a new task and that's going to be the next app. I'm not having to redo design all these components. I might just add a component page too, and kind of like go from there. So yeah, and I still have to, there's a lot of work to be done here. Like, I have this widget section, so like the app needs to have widgets for desktop and mobile. Actually, is there? Yeah, I don't think Windows supports widgets. I don't think there's actually really all that many desktop widgets, which is unfortunate. But for mobile, I think having widgets is important. I use my phone as camera. I use widgets a lot on my phone, so especially for tracking. It doesn't do the job completely, I've noticed, but it does a better job than if I didn't do it. I think with more like structure and stuff, it'll work out well. So yeah, I'm using SCSS for our styling framework and React as our React as our like framework of choice. We're using Vite, not Next.js, because we need our page to display on the device and render on the device, so it has to be all client side. Unfortunately, there are probably some sections I would have it. No, honestly, I think it's going to be all client side. It just makes it so that there's no overhead on my side, and it just works out. I think it works out better. I'm using React Router to achieve this. So we have a router DOM. The thing I've been trying to figure out is how to I want to import everything within a folder, and without having to go through yes, this is what I want it. This file, this file, this file. It's a little cumbersome, but I wonder if in Vite if I can figure out how to do that. Where's my Vite config? Yeah, so we have this Vite right here. It's pretty simple configuration. I tried to do the dynamic import vars, but that was not what I was expecting it to be. It's more live importing than anything, so it didn't work out well for that. There might also just not be a good choice for that, because right here I have to go to layout, and then I'm importing everything into here in layout. It's possible that that's the best we're going to get. I hope not. If this is how we're going to do it, I'll probably separate out the routing based stuff onto a different file and kind of have the layout and then all our pages kind of merge into one place instead of having everything merge into the layout and then merging into our router. How it's working out, because if we go to our router here, yeah, we have our widget section. We have sections, and I'll probably separate this out because it's just the same information. It's all we're calling is what we need path, and then what's the page? What's the layout widget? And then yeah, we're just calling we're just getting different pages and stuff too, and the air page is it. I'm trying to replicate what Next.js has without using Next.js, because we just need that spa, and it looked like the spa kind of thing on taking a Next.js and routing in spa. It's not what it's made for. It's counterintuitive, but I need to do that. The reason why I did this, I decided to do using the a web a spa and then kind of loading it onto the device, is I plan on having charts, and you have to create that from scratch. But React's native is it's awesome. I would die if I had to use the native programming languages, but it's just not there yet. I think it's easier. I don't really care too much about performance, so I think it's easier just to especially coming from my knowledge base, which is web development, to take a web view and chunk it up in pieces. It's one web view. I can load I can give it a path and be hey, just load this, and the router will just load that chunk so I can do widgets. I can just what I build out one thing, it can go for all devices. Using Electron here to do that. So yeah, it's kind of just why try to do the React this kind of thing. Though I do have to create so on React Native, they create a bridge from the native device to React Native. I have to then create a bridge from the React Native to the web part, which I think will be annoying, but yeah, it's where I'm at. It's just kind of it's much slower for sure. It'd be easier to do, it'd be quicker to do React Native, and if I needed to, I can like separate out portions because it's both React. But the thing I find mind-boggling is that, and I think this is kind of just like the React mindset, is that you can't use they use like the same paragraph tag. I'd rather have them have the same element and different attributes per device than like, and like be like, hey, I can, if it is not like an element that's paradise, just ignore it. Than just having to build two components, because that's one of the big things I didn't really want to do. Like I had to, like, there was no real like good chart framework. So if I'm going to build up charts, I'd rather do that in a web dev environment. I don't think it was the kit. I think it was like like I want to stick with my like design scheme, right? And this kind of like doesn't seem like it's the best kind of like line, like so you get line graphs. That's it. It's very like the charts on the kind of like this like native environment, it's pretty limited. Which if I want to do more like pie charts and like if I'm gonna make a finance app, because I think that's one of the things I've been doing budgeting app. If I want to do that, like I had to like it's just so much work. So I'd rather make like two bridges and like do the everything than trying to like wedge the UI and do different things on different devices. It also kind of keeps the experience seamless across devices, even though it is much slower. Yeah, it is what it is. I think this is the best way forward. That being said, so yeah, kind of like that's how I have it. And basically what I can run at the root directory, I just run build. It will, once it builds the web file into a temporary directory, it then calls this file, which just copies it to mobile and web, and then deletes the temp directory. And it will like kind of render like this. I think I need to still figure out how to like pull out different assets, or like I need to have an asset library out here instead of like inside the web, which I'm fine with. And to kind of like call it differently. I'm having issues with assets. That's why I haven't had like one of the reasons why I haven't like had bothered exporting like these images out of React, the icons out of React or Figma, is because I'm just having issues with like let's see, let's take it. It's in part of the icon, right? This part, just like what I was saying, like I want to, like, if you want to call this to import dynamically in order to get the icon size, because you're like building it, which means you don't really know the path. It's a whole mess. So I can either do that or manually just import the icons. Rather not do that. If I'm gonna be honest. So I'll have to figure a way to do that this week. Yeah, I forgot. What other things were we gonna do today? I think we talked about everything. It's only been 30 minutes. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so it's only been 30 minutes. I went through this a lot faster. There was not a lot of work was done on Figma. This is kind of the stuff I've been working on the past couple of days. Yeah, I started on Wednesday and kind of just chunking it from there. So, yeah. Not much. So, I think I'll, from now, it is 9. It started really late too. So I just want to get on, update what I had, and I think I'm gonna call it deuces. But That's such an old phrase now. What is that from? I heard that from on like a TV show my roommate's been uh listening to, I think. But yeah, I'm heading out. I'm gonna head out. Um yeah, thank you for watching and see you later. Bye bye.